Hey everyone, how are you? This is Meaningful Intuitive Guided Tarot here. I hope all my beautiful subscribers is doing well on this Monday. Happy Monday. Welcome back to my channel. Yes, I know that the question of the day is, where have Meaningful Intuitive Guided Tarot been? Well, guys, I did post on Friday, May 14th, that it was my birthday, that I was in fact celebrating my birthday on May 14th, which was last Sunday, which also happens to be Mother's Day. So I had two celebrations going on at the same time. Lucky me, right? So anyway, we are in Taurus season, so that means that I am a Taurus and I was celebrating my solar return day. And I will say that actually, I just kind of kept it going. I'm still kind of somewhat celebrating it. When you think about it, we wait a whole year for our solar return day to come to us and arrive. And so it's no set rule that we need to just celebrate it and for it to just end on the day of our birthday, right? So we should extend it as long as we can, right? Especially for the week, 2 weeks. For some, they celebrate it for the whole month, right? So anyway, I just been celebrating my birthday, everyone. So I took a little break, but I do apologize. And I am back with you guys, my MIGT community. I hope, like I said, all of you are doing well on this Monday. Welcome back to my fellow subscribers, viewers alike. If this is your first time on my channel, I welcome you. And I hope that after you have seen not only today's reading, but any other readings that I have brought onto this channel, if you like my content, I hope that eventually your viewership will turn into a subscriber. All right, everyone. So I am back to give you guys what I will call almost like a shadow peek from the waning new moon that we had on Friday. There was a new moon, but besides doing my spiritual work here, I also have a professional career that I do outside of this channel. I am a model. And so I had to go into work to take some photo shoots. And so after doing that for the whole day, come back and to recover and to still kind of be in that mood of celebrating my birthday. So with that being said, I didn't get to give you guys your new moon reading because I always kind of stay on top of your moon phase readings when we do have a moon phase. And so we just this past Friday, the 19th, we did have a new moon and the sign of Taurus. And by the way, I'm going to give a shout out to all my Taurus bull gang out there. This is Taurus season, so we are celebrating it very hard. All right, so for those of you that had a birthday on the 14th, or perhaps have a birthday that just passed, happy solar return day. And I hope that everyone else has just been really taking in what this Taurus season is all about, particularly with that new moon that we just had this Friday, which is about new beginnings. In whatever area of your life that you thought or feel that you need to just kind of venture out and start fresh and to welcome all new beginnings, well, this is what that new moon was all about. And so being that I wasn't here to give you guys that, I'm coming back on this Monday to kind of still give you guys a somewhat clarity, some kind of insight to highlight exactly, even though we are not in that new moon, but any moon phase always, as it wanes, will still have the shadow effects still influencing all of us, all signs, right? And so we're going to tap in. I just kind of wanted to come in to just come back as a way to return back after being away for a couple of days, to kind of just bring you this reading, to just tap into my collective, all of you, all signs, all placements, as to what and how the shadow energies from this new moon that we had on Friday, it's going to kind of continue to affect all of us in whichever way, starting from today, for this week ahead, and maybe even after and beyond. All right. And so with all that being said, let us begin. And so for the first time, I am starting off you guys reading with an oracle from a new deck that I did purchase but didn't get to use it yet on this channel until today. And this is the Oracle of the Radiant Sun. And I thought that my spirit guides kind of directed me to kind of use this to start off this reading, because although This is a very small deck in terms of the card, the size of the card, because for those that know, most oracle decks, they are bigger. They are bigger than your typical tarot card. This is a tarot card. And generally, your oracles are usually bigger and more wider. So, but with this deck, the cards are smaller. But I feel that even though it's small, it sends a very big pungent message. So don't take the size by granted, because we are talking about the oracle of the sun. We know the sun in itself is a very powerful source of energy. So therefore, any of the cards that is pulled for any reading, it's going to what? It's going to symbolize the radiancy of highlighting what needs to be emphasized for you guys, the collective today. And so speaking of which, the oracle that have come out for you guys to kind of bring insight as to what and how perhaps the shadow effects of the new moon is influencing you guys, or will influence you moving ahead, we have here escape. That is a very big message, escape. There's no particular further knowledge of understanding what escape means. Escape is what it means, to escape. It doesn't have to be physical. It could be the mind escaping worries, any type of distractions, any type of anxiety. But for the most part, it does mean a physical, literal escape. Okay? And so as we move down to you guys' energies from the tarot, and I'm actually as well, in addition to the oracle deck that I'm using, I'm also using another tarot deck that I have not used, that I'm using for the first time. It's my tarot power deck. I love it, and I will continue to use it moving ahead on my channel. But anyway, we're going to tap into these tarot cards to see what energies have come out that correlates with the message of escape, that this is your overall major energy that is taking place. And this is the energy that you guys, I would say, maybe have been in since this past Friday of this new moon, maybe even before that. Okay, so let's talk about the cards that have come out. So the first card that has come out is starting off with the major arcana of the Fool. So being a major arcana, as I've always mentioned on this channel, whenever we have major arcanas, especially when they kind of start off and jumpstart your reading, that speaks intensity. That speaks a very significant message, right? And when you think about it, when you look at the Fool, now because this is a new deck, and if you notice or if you are aware of how the Fool generally appears from other decks, if you look closely, what did you see different? That the Fool is turning away from the cliff. In your other tarot decks, the Fool energy is looking toward the cliff, right? So even though he is seeing what he's about to embark on, or maybe not embark on, he still have a bird's eye view of how he may land, metaphorically. With this energy of the Fool from this tarot deck, it's the opposite direction, which means it was kind of funny when I pulled it out, because it's like it's calling for you guys to take some type of a leap of faith, but to just go out and just do it. It's like, I don't care. When it goes back to that energy of escape, you guys are needing to really literally escape, to get away, go on vacation, however it is and means for you personally. Now just know that this is a general for the collective of you. But I somehow feel that this message of this reading is going to really resonate with quite a few of you, because at the end of the day, we all need to escape from our daily mundane duties and the hustles and bustles of just life. So I really feel that there will be some type of identifying with this message that I'm bringing to you guys today. But in particular, just so you know, as well, that this energy is connected to the Mars, to the planet Mars, which means action, which makes sense. Take action to escape. But also it taps into the energy of my Pisces out there. Now, it doesn't mean that this will be only for Pisces. No, because this is for all signs, all placements. Maybe you are of another sign and you might have Pisces placements. But this might be a message particularly to my Pisceans, because this energy of escape connects to that as well, with Mars symbolizing action, right? So now going back to the Fool energy we have here is the Fool, because like I said, the fact that this imagery is like about face, is where it's showing that you guys are really in need to escape. Escape from what? What is it that you guys really need to escape from? You would know how this would resonate for you in your life, okay? Now, let us, I'm trying to see, I think I will go through the cards first, and then I'll come down to the clarifiers. So the next card that has come out in the second position we have is strength, right? So it's like you guys need the strength, you need the confidence to go ahead and take that leap of faith and plunge forward. Sometimes we are such in desperate need of really getting away from the hustle and bustle. Sometimes we need to just go ahead and just pack our bags, get in our car, and just drive, right? We don't know, right? The navigation might be on, but let that navigation kind of just take us anywhere. But the idea is that we initiate some type of movement, some type of action, because it's very much needed, right? But again, sometimes we know this inside ourselves, right? We know it's time for us to take a break. We know it's time to book a vacation, to take a couple of days off from work. But a lot of times, whatever it is, we put a pause on it and we hold ourselves back. But this energy of this card here is showing that we need to really go ahead, pay attention to the signs of our bodies or even our mental mind and take that break, right? Now, the next card that we have, guys, is the Seven of Swords. Now, the Seven of Swords look different. If you are familiar with the Seven of Swords from other decks, it looks different, right? A little bit different. But when I looked at this card here, the Seven of Swords to me represents those on the work front. So for this particular message here, it's for those that work for somebody, okay? Not my entrepreneurs. But at the same time, if you work for yourself, that means you answer to nobody, you answer to yourself. So really there's no excuse for you not to take the time. But for those that are employed, if you are an employee and you're working for someone else, it's showing me that you guys are pretty much on your last foot, that you've been overworking. So in this case, the Seven of Swords is indicating that you guys need to take a break. Be strategic, because the Seven of Swords generally, depending on the intuitive nature of the reader, right? We don't always go by the traditional meanings of what the cards represent. This is where your intuition comes into play. And so for me, the traditional meaning behind the Seven of Swords generally is connected to deception, backstabbing, being sneaky, right? But no, in this situation, this just means being strategic, moving silently. Why? Well, again, for those of you, whether you work for somebody or whether you work for yourself, this is calling for you guys to be very strategic. Move silently to escape. If people know your plan, that you want to escape, take a much needed vacation, I feel that there may be some blockages or some distractions. You don't need no distractions. You need to go ahead and move and get away, wherever it is, right? It's calling for you guys to do that, all right? So if you're feeling this message, then you know. You can resonate and you know, yes, that's definitely me. I am being overworked. So again, if you're being overworked and the Seven of Swords is saying you are literally becoming drained, you need to take some time off. If you have sick time, if you have vacation days, go ahead, put it in so that you guys can go ahead and take that leap of faith and escape somewhere. Even if you don't know where you want to go, get into your vehicle. I feel that most of you guys, anyway, own cars. So get into your vehicle. If you don't have your own personal transportation, go ahead and book a ticket, buy your ticket, and go and book an airline and go and fly. If it's more better for you to take the train, Amtrak, whatever mode of travel is calling for you guys to go and escape. All right, now let's shift over to your next energy we have here. So again, this Seven of Swords energy is all about moving silently and quietly. And as we go a little later into the clarifier, I will kind of go in a little bit deep about why. Pretty much I just gave you the explanation why, because if you let people know your plan, that you want to get away, it could be family. Unless you are in your immediate family, then of course they're going to know. If you work for somebody, of course you have to let your boss know, right? But for anybody else, any other outside, friends, anyone else, no, it's time for you to be strategic, move silently, and do what you need to do. Now, I do want to say that at the base of the deck, at the bottom of the card from the deck, after pulling out these energies, what was at the bottom was the King of Cups. And so tying into escape, it's also dealing with emotions. And the King of Cups in certain scenarios of readings can mean different things. But for this reading, the King of Cups simply means pouring into yourself. Because a lot of times we pour into others. We pour into our work. We pour into our families. We pour into our friends. And when we do that and pour into other people, what happens is if it's too much, we neglect pouring into ourselves. And at the end of the day, pouring into ourselves is very important, because when we give ourselves self-love and self-care, then it kind of helps balance us. It makes us more able to better pour into somebody else, because by then our mind, body, and soul have been very much balanced, and we have taken that break. It's almost like when you go away, like if you leave stressed, but then you come back refreshed, renewed. Why? Because you took the time to pour into your cups, pour into yourself. Okay? Now, so for some of you, the Seven of Swords was relating to those on the work front. Now, as we move over to your next card, we have here the Five of Swords. Now, for this particular Swords energy, this could represent, for some of you, dealing with your person. I'm feeling that this is for those in a relationship. The Five of Swords deals with conflict, deals with arguments, deals with a lot of arguments, words, maybe even physical fights, unfortunately. And so for some of you, you come to a point, because this person here, as you can see, he's looking back, but it's almost like he's throwing his hands up. Now, even though it's showing a masculine energy, you should know by now that, in tarot, there's no specific gender. So this could be a masculine that is throwing his hands up, walking away from a feminine energy, or this could be a feminine energy walking away, putting, his hands up, so to speak, and it's almost like taking the swords and saying, I rest. Like, this argument is over and it's done. I don't want to fight anymore. I don't want to argue anymore. So I feel that this energy is more about, for those of you that are in a relationship, that you are ready to kind of throw down the towel and walk away, whether it be temporary or permanent. That's for you guys to know in terms of the duration of you guys walking away. Let me just quench my... Right? So, again, as we clarify that in a moment, you will see exactly why I feel that for some of you, this is relating to your person or someone that you're in a relationship with, that this is where it's calling for you to pour into yourself, self-love, but also self-worth, because it's like being in this relationship with this person, it's only bringing me anxiety. It's bringing me a lot of, headaches and stress, which is why you need to escape. You need to get away from this situation. Now, like I said, in terms of how long and the duration of it, then you would know if this, in fact, you would know how long you've been dealing with the situation. So for some of you, maybe it's a temporary break that you guys are just going away. You know what I mean? Like if you take a vacation, you might be vacationing maybe for like a week or two, just getting away until things kind of calm down and cool off. For some of you, this might be a situation, excuse me, that might be permanent, that you are walking away from. Why? Because you realize at the end, I love myself, right? And so that's why that's there. And then your last card from the tarot that I pulled is the Magician. Now, I feel for me, the Magician, to me, other readers might interpret it differently, but for me, the Magician, when it comes up in a reading, regardless of what the reading is and what the messages have come already, until this appears. A major arcana, by the way, and I must say that there has been a lot of major arcanas that have come up in this reading, which means that the message is very intense. It's very significant for a portion of you. Now, the Magician to me speaks about illusion, because it's almost like you have the resources, you have the tools, you have what you need to go ahead and take that leap of faith, but somewhere in your mind's eye, you feel that you can't do it. So it's calling for you to trust and believe that you have the power. We all have the magic within ourselves to unwind, to undo whatever it is that we want to at will, along, of course, with the help of our, angels, whoever your belief system is. Of course, they are a part of it, but they want to see that you believe in your own power. Do that make sense? They have to see, do you have the power? Do you believe that you have the magic to undo what it is you need to do, or to make something happen at will, right? And so the Magician clearly shows that once you come out of that illusion to think that you can't, or that eventually to think, I do have what I need. I have the tools right there, readily available to go ahead and take that plunge forward. Then the mask, right? That illusion has been removed. Now you can go ahead at full strength, right? Going back to that second card, the strength, and to go ahead and work your magic. Work your magic how? Working your magic and doing like a disappearing act to escape from whomever and whatever that you need to escape from. So it's kind of interesting that this kind of it's like the outcome of what will take place once you remove the illusion, thinking that you cannot proceed ahead, right? So come out of that illusion, because you have everything you need to move ahead, to escape, right? So for some of you, this even means money. You may say, well, I don't really have the money. I really don't have the funds to just book a trip and go away. Who's to say that you have to go out of your city or out of your state to do so? They're like staycation places. Even if it's just, like I said, I feel that most of you have your own most people have their own personal mode of travel, right? But let's say you don't, and you have to spend money to take a train or something like that. Even if it's just a day in the park, a park is free, right? We can take the public transportation for those that live in the city. For those that don't live in the city, and there is no choice that you have to have your own personal vehicle, then get into your car and just take a long drive somewhere. You have on your, navigation, your GPS, and just drive. Sometimes that in itself is an escape. It doesn't literally have to always be something physical. It could just be just getting into your car and just driving. And sometimes driving, for a lot of people, it's very calming and soothing in itself, right? Because you are getting away. The main thing is sometimes we need to get away out of our own environment that we go to each and every single day, right? Because that will help us to escape the routine activities that we do. As long as we are there and do not get away, it's always going to be something to do. We're always going to engage with the people in our environment, right? And it's just going to continue to just overwhelm us. But once we remove ourselves, kind of disengage, right, and go somewhere else that is not home, that's where things begin to kind of like become less stressful, if that makes sense, right? So that's what the Magician is, and that's how I interpret the Magician. That is just an illusion that we don't think that we have what we need to move ahead, okay? Now, let's talk about the clarifiers of these energies. So now to clarify that Fool's energy, to clarify, guess what happened? You got the Fool again, because I used another deck. So you got the Fool again, along with the Strength card. And remember, the Strength card as well came out for you guys. So we got major arcanas here. And as I've always say, that major arcanas always speaks about the intensity of the messages. So what does this mean? That escape is needed for a portion of you, right? For a portion of you. And I want you guys to Let me know if this really does resonate with you, if this identifies with you, if you are in need to escape. Let me know in the comment section, if this is really something that is your message, because I feel that it is for most of you. But with the Fool showing up again, remember it showed up initiating your reading. And if you notice that the Fool from this deck, remember I mentioned earlier that the Fool faced the cliff, and your other one, he's away from the cliff. So it's like whichever direction, whether you have a master plan, whether you have a location or not, move. That's the message. Move. Because escape is about action. We don't always have to know. Sometimes once we get out of the house, once we just begin to prepare, pack a small bag and just get into your car and just start driving. And then you might say, you know what? There's a hotel like 2 miles away. Let me just book a room in the hotel and stay there for the weekend, if this is like near the weekend. Or if it's like maybe the next week, you might say, you know what? I just want to just book a hotel and just be me, myself, and I. Going back to the message of pouring into yourself, right? Because it's time to pour into yourself. So that is clarifying that energy. Now moving over to your second energy, remember the Strength. So clarifying that, another major arcana, the Chariot, along with the Ten of Wands. So it goes right back to your overall message of escape. The Chariot is like the most clearest cutthroat message. Chariot. Remember we were speaking about modes of travel, because the Chariot is a mode of travel. And if you notice very closely with your overall Sun Oracle, this woman here is in fact in a chariot. So the fact that the Chariot came out again is indicating the message, very importantly, that it's time for you guys to jump into your chariot. Your chariot could be your car, your truck, plane, train, whatever, boat if need be. Maybe it might be time, maybe you guys maybe need to, maybe if you can, go ahead and book a cruise, boat, whatever this may be. And again, it doesn't have to be like a 7-day cruise trip. This could be just taking a day to just go down to the marine and rent a little boat and just cruise along the waters. The water itself is very calming. It's all about getting out into nature, right? And so this is what this chariot is. It's one of the most fastest chariot. We also have other cards that indicate speed, but the chariot is a fast-moving energy nonetheless. And what it is that you're moving away from? The Ten of Wands. Stress, burden, overloading. It's time. I had enough. So to me, this is like going back to the other energy of the Seven of Swords. If you've been overworked, carrying on burdens, unnecessary work, it's time to hop into that vehicle and get away from it. Put in your vacation time from your employer and say, I want to take a vacation. And take that 2-week vacation. Take that week vacation. Maybe you have incurred quite a bit of vacation days. Maybe you can take a month if your employer allows you to take that. If you have incurred that much time, then why not, right? You deserve it. Why? Because you need to pour into yourself. Okay? Now, to clarify the Seven of Swords, we have here the Moon and the Nine of Swords. The messages here is very repeating, because it's all about the energy that some of you guys are dealing with is, to me, overworked. So much so that it has caused even sleepless nights. Some of you might be having some sleepless nights, insomnia, because you're taking on more than you can chew. You've been pouring into other people and neglecting yourself. And so being that is under the Seven of Swords, remember the Seven of Swords earlier, I said, speaking about being strategic, moving silently, because we have the Moon. The Moon, too, is an energy of hiding things, being hidden, not exposing, not sharing just yet. So to me, this is why the Seven of Swords is here. So I'm intuitively picking up that you guys really need to be very quiet. Do it on a down low. from your family. Maybe you might have a family member, or, whoever this may be. This could be anybody in your life that maybe is constantly around you, and maybe you need a break from them. But maybe they are the ones that maybe tell your business. This is where you need to move quietly by yourself and to just do what you need to do. Hop into your car, your truck, whatever it is, and just make this a silent move. Use that magician's energy and do a disappearing act. And there's an expression, MIB. Become MIB, right? I think that's what it is. But missing in action, or MIA, I'm sorry, MIA, close enough. Be MIA, become MIA, missing in action. And stay missing in action until you return. And then when you return, they'll be like, oh, what happened? Like, I haven't heard from you. Is everything okay? Yeah, everything okay. Everything is okay. I just needed time to pour into myself. And that is the only explanation you need to give anybody. Pour into yourself. All right? Now, to clarify the Five of Swords, we have the Three of Wands and the Empress. Again, repeating message. Because the Three of Wands, now before the Three of Wands is the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands is in the process of initiating a strategy or planning ahead what it is you want to do with a situation. And the Three of Wands is here. So it's indicating that you guys have decided and you are ready to take that leap of action, that leap of faith, taking action, the influence coming in of Mars. And like I said, this could be for some of you Pisces that really need to, take this message don't take it lightly. Don't take the message lightly. Now, there are other signs that I see here. Wands is here a lot. So for some of you, this could be for those of you that are fire signs, be it Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, maybe as well. This message could be for you because there's a lot of Wands energy here, right? There are swords here too, so maybe air signs. Some of you air signs might need to take this message, not to take it lightly as well. It might be a message for you. One area of this reading is going to resonate with some of you air signs, fire signs, and you Pisces, water signs, right? So again, you would know in what area distinctly or instinctively this will resonate for you. But the Three of Wands attached to the Empress means, again, to me, the Empress is a nurturing energy. It deals with the emotions. It's also connected to, if you will, the King of Cups, because they both represent love, emotions, pouring into yourself. But the Empress is by nature a loving energy, right? And so again, this is the message that some of you really need to love yourself. Love yourself, because at the end, loving yourself is going to pay off in a very big way. And with the Three of Wands here, it's just showing that for some of you, you are looking to perhaps, because it is under the Five of Swords, and I did connect the Five of Swords pertaining to those of you that I might be in a very argumentative or very physical type of fight, something that is, constantly going on. So some of you, I mentioned earlier that it could be something temporary, but then for others, it might be something permanent. Because the Three of Wands is an energy that is like not looking back. So for some of you, you might be leaving your person because they were too argumentative. See, you coming up, even though this is a feminine energy, the Empress, but if it's you guys that are masculine, that is leaving your feminine energy, it's showing that you love yourself. Where they are looking to always start fights and always constantly be in argument, you have had enough. You are loving, not only yourself, but your nature is loving. And when you have someone that is loving and you have someone that is unloving, or someone that is looking to always start fights, someone that is always looking for conflict, but you are a peace-loving person, after a while, you guys it's not going to work. And so somebody have to do something about it. And you guys are doing something about it. And so for some, this will be a permanent separation or a permanent leave from something or someone. Because the Three of Wands, like I said, is taking action. the overall energy from your message of escape. You are taking action. You are utilizing the Mars energy to take action and to move ahead. And you've noticed that this imagery here, they are not looking back. They have had enough. All right? Now, to close out, we come back to clarifying the energy of the Magician. And you have here the Seven of Swords, which did come out for you guys earlier. It looked different, but it's here again, along with the Devil, Capricorn energy. So some of you might be leaving a Capricorn, or I'm still going to feel that the Five of Swords energy and what we just left just now, to clarify, is still spilling over, bleeding over from that energy pertaining to your relationship or your person. And I feel that, like I said, it doesn't have to be. You could be dealing with any sign. But this is the Devil representing Capricorn energy. So some of you might be leaving a Capricorn, be it a Capricorn masculine or a Capricorn feminine. Doesn't have to be. But the Seven of Swords is, in fact, if you look, it's moving away from this energy because it's toxic. The Devil energy is toxic. It deals with anything that is low vibrational. And like I said before, you are someone that is loving. You always try to maintain a high vibrational attitude, something positive. But then you have this person that's lingering around you that tries to pull you down, that want to bring you down to your low vibrational energy. And you're not about that. You're about love and peace. And this is why you are moving away. All right? So guys, that is the message. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I really enjoyed this reading. I think the message was very profound, and I definitely feel that this message will be for a portion of you. But if it's not, it will be for somebody. This I will know. And you will have to let me know by giving me your feedback in the comment section, but as well sending some electricity to that thumbs button to give me a like. Subscribe for those that are viewing this video. Please subscribe if you did like this reading, and kind of thumb through my other readings that I have on this channel. Become a subscriber as well, which is something I don't mention. Hit that notification bell so this way you are informed and kind of know when I do bring updated videos. All right, everyone. In addition to that, I will say I have not forgotten. I will be back later on because I do have subscribers that request that I have to do and perform, and I will be coming back to give a shout out to at least 1 or 2 subscribers that I will be working on to bring to the channel. All right, and I just want to say that I did notice that 2 subscribers put their request under another video. And just for you guys that don't know, or just me reiterating again, if you have any subscribers requests that you'd like me to do on your favorite celebrity, I did upload and create a specific subscribers request video only to send your request there. Because if you're sending it under any other video, it will not be acknowledged and I will not be able to perform your request. So you might have to go back a few readings, not that far back, to kind of put your request in that particular subscribers only video for your request. And there is where I'll be able to acknowledge it and to respond to you and to let you know that I will honor that. Otherwise, it will not be acknowledged or honored. So that's why I created that particular video for you guys. So again, if you have any requests for me, please send it under that video. All right, everyone. So again, I hope you enjoyed this reading. And until the next one, everyone, and until we see again in a little bit later on with those requests, shout outs. I'm wishing all of you a wonderful Monday. Thank you so much for your patience for those of you. And I do realize that I did gain, I think, 2 more subscribers. So thank you so much for your subscribes. And again, thank you for the love. Thank you, my tribe, my MIGT community tribe. Thank you for believing in me. Thank you for allowing my gifts to radiate and show on my channel. There's more work to be done as I want to see more subscribers coming onto my channel. But thank you so much. And so again, until the next time, I'm wishing all of you a very radiant Monday ahead. Until then, peace, love, and light. Namaste. Bye.